So I'm going through a divorce because my husband of 7 years, we've been together for 12, has been having an affair with my first cousin, my blood.
Remember the lady who came online and was crying that her cousin was, or her husband was cheating on her with her cousin Faith, that she was crying in the car? Now she's spilling the tea. Let's talk about it. Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So this video is an update and a story time video, and guys, I need you guys to grab something to eat. I'll probably be doing something while but because this video is long. It's long but it's juicy, it's very detailed, and I like the video, so I'm not even going to say much. But yeah, because in this video she was explaining everything that happened. So if you don't know what's happening, about a month ago also, I did a video of a lady who came online and was crying in her car that her cousin slept, or her husband is cheating on her with her cousin, and she was saying it's her first cousin, they are close, and she was literally crying, calling the cousin on the phone and like, why do you have to do this to me, why do you have to do this to me, and all that. And people reacted to the drama. So now she's back on the internet telling her story, exactly how it happened. So first off, she went on to tell the story about how she and her husband met and they came to be and how long they've been together, and also went on to talk about the dynamic and the relationship she has with her cousin. And apparently it seems like she and her cousin was very close. They grew up together. Their birthdays are close to each other, and she really wanted to give us really full details. Guys, like I said, grab something to eat, drink, because this is Anyway, let's go check it out because the video is long. Let us go hear her story and then we'll come back and talk more.
Hear the love story of how your mommy and your daddy met. Just a quick backstory. I already filmed like a full tell-all about everything that transpired with Faith and I. Faith and I and him, hello. But I just want to give a backstory because I noticed I didn't do that in regards to me and my husband and how we met. We met back in 2013 in Augusta. We worked together. It was love at first sight. For him, is what he would say. He saw me and he was in love with me immediately. You know, at work, at like call centers, you have like team outings and site outings. We did a site outing and we ended up being the last two people at the outing. Just stayed up all night talking at the restaurant nonstop. And got super close. We vibed and connected over us having little boys. I had a 3-year-old son at the time and he had a 4-year-old at the time. And I also learned that he had 2 daughters and he had them when he was just 19 years old, and they lived in his hometown. We hung out one night, and that one night turned into 5 nights, 10 nights, 40 nights. It just never stopped. My sister Dom, and you're gonna hear about her a lot, she helped out with my baby while him and I got to go like on dates and things like that. So I had my own heartbreak from my son's father then at the time, and it was years that passed, maybe like 2 years had already passed, but he kind of like helped me see light, seeing kindness. Even though I wasn't like physically attracted to him, I stopped seeing the physical and I started seeing his heart. He shared a lot with me about his life and his feelings and things that he's never shared with anybody else, and I could just tell. It was just a great vibe. In 2015, I want to say end of 2014, we ended up moving in together. One of his daughters came down for the summer and I got to meet her. It was probably her first summer ever spending with her daddy. So we were this close. Her mom felt comfortable enough to send her. I talked to her mom and all of that, and I watched a relationship start to blossom. That same summer, his son came down. His mom, I met her. Everything was cool. You know, it wasn't like a close relationship between her and I, but she trusted him with her son, with their son. She knew he was a great dad. She always said he was a great dad. And he came down for the summer. Him and my son vibed like no tomorrow. Like there was no separating them. They vibed over cars and superheroes, okay? The best love. I saw so much love in my baby's eyes. I saw so much love in his baby's eyes at the time, and I knew they needed each other. Life was so much easier with them having each other that it made life easier for us. I felt deeper in love when his son saw him for the first time when we picked him up for the summer. And it was like they never missed a beat, like their connection, how much, you know, he loved on him, how much they loved each other, and he gave the same love to my baby. His son, my son now, you know, I'm going to say their ages. So his 4-year-old, that because I can't say his son and my son, it just feels weird saying that, but I'm trying to explain the story to you guys, you know, our love story. We just fell for each other really fast. We have 2 boys now. His mom, his 4-year-old, my oldest now, she allowed him to stay for kindergarten. Like, we got that close. It was to a point in 2017 that he got a job offer in Atlanta. That was very tough for me because I was working at the job that we worked at for like 5 years. But I love this man so much that, and it was the hardest decision, I left Augusta and I moved to Atlanta with him and found a job there. That was easy. You know, our 4-year-old, his 4-year-old. His mom would not have let him stay because who would have watched him like while he's at work? Who would have helped? You know, like it's hard doing things as a single person, period. And as a man, for sure. We just do things different as, you know, women. And then my son, my 3-year-old at the time, inseparable. I decided to move. We moved together to Atlanta. Everything was good, and then it was bad. I started to feel like I was moving too fast, you know, if I'm honest. I was in my 20s. We weren't talking about marriage or anything like that. So I made the decision to break up with him. We broke up and I moved to Augusta back with my family. I was homesick, all of those things. My little sister moved in with us in Atlanta also, I should say. So that made it a little bit easier because we had her kind of like a babysitter for us to hang out, and the boys loved her because she's younger and it was just a vibe. But when it got to the point that I just knew I couldn't do it anymore and I felt like scared, I decided to move back home. I moved back home for a year, okay? And like I signed a 1-year lease. I was there for a year, got a townhouse, just me and my son. We lost contact. We just stopped talking. We broke up. His son ended up, like I thought, moved back with his mom. That was hard for me. It was hard for my son. It was hard for him, you know, really hard. But I put myself first and I knew what I had to do for me because I wasn't ready for anything serious, and I felt like it wasn't getting serious enough. And we started talking and communicating maybe 6 months of me moving away. It was about like insurance. The insurance was lapsing on a car, and he's like, what are we gonna do? And then we just started catching up, updating. He came to visit. My baby was so happy to see him again. We went to the fair. We started talking on FaceTime. It was like we never missed a beat. While we were separated, I was in Augusta back home. He was in Atlanta. His son had already moved back with his mom. He moved with the same company to Texas. March 29th of 2017, all of my family started coming to my house, and it was just like crazy out the blue, like randomly one night. Oh, I was in the neighborhood, this, that, my mom, my brothers, my sisters, like everybody was there, cousins. And it was just, I thought it was strange, but I just left it alone. I went into my bedroom and I was with my sister. I'm like, what the heck are these people doing here? Blah, blah, blah. She was like, Precious, I got to tell you something. And I was like, girl, please don't tell me you're pregnant again. It was kind of like that, you know? And I came out the room, like her and I walked out the room, and he was coming in the front door and he proposed to me in front of all of my family and closest friends right in my living room. And my son was there and he was happy. I said yes. I was shocked. I was scared. I wasn't, if I'm honest, I don't know if I was ready then, but I knew how we were vibing over the past, you know, months. I knew I missed him, and I said yes. We made a plan that once my lease was up at my townhouse in Augusta, we were going to move to Texas together, and that's what we did. He flew me to Texas and drove a U-Haul with all of my stuff in 2018. I was very excited for the family dynamic and the single mom that I always have been, like, and, you know, in my heart. It's like all of that was going away. Got married June 1st of 2018, bought a house July of 2018, the next following month, and yeah. A memory that sticks out is my 30th birthday. He surprised me with a trip to Vegas. It was my first time going to Vegas, and I was so excited, so happy. It was just the best trip ever. He surprised me with my sister from New York. It was just everything I could have imagined. We got pregnant in Vegas, and we have our now 5-year-old, and life was just great. It couldn't get any better. His daughter moved in. His other daughter moved in outside of the one that came for the summer. She stayed for maybe 2 years. His cousin moved in. Like, we were just like a family of love, allowing people to live with us. It was love. It was love in real life. His now adult daughters, they were coming to visit yearly, getting to know their brothers, birthdays. We were going to his hometown to visit. It was just great. Family stuff. I started to get closer to his mom. His mom was so happy to have a daughter-in-law. His dad, he got super close with his dad. Like, he said, now I'm learning he never had a connection like that with his dad until I came into his life. So there we go. His mom treated all of the kids the same, and I appreciated the family dynamic that he had. He had a beautiful family, and I didn't have that. Fast forward to today, our boys are now 15 and 16. They live with us. His daughters are 23 and 24. He's now a grandfather. He and his daughters talk every single day, and I like to say that I had a lot to do with it because they didn't have a relationship like that until I came in his life. And I thank God for that relationship that I helped build. The long talks, the therapy that we did within our home, and they have a really good relationship. I love to see them talk to their daddy all the time. I love to see him go visit his daughter and his granddaughter. Like, those things melt my heart. So now let's fast forward to what happened when Cousin Faith came back into my life, okay? Leaving therapy, and my therapist is great. She's amazing. I know that I have to share my story as much as I don't want to, as much as I'm scared of what I don't know. And it's like, I don't even care anymore because I can't even do my day in the lives. I can't do voiceovers without being honest. I'm not myself, and I started this platform being myself, and I'm going to continue being myself. And with that, and in order for me to heal, I have to share what I'm going through and what's going on, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going through a divorce because my husband of 7 years, we've been together for 12, has been having an affair with my first cousin, my blood, who we call each other sisters. We share a birthday. We've spent many years vacationing together on our birthdays. We shared birthday cakes as kids. She's auntie to my babies. She's been in my home. She's been around my family. I just left her baby shower a week before my husband was there with her. I went through his phone. I found 3-minute long videos of her paying for my husband. And it led to my heartbreak and ruining my family. I'm supposed to be going to couples therapy after this appointment. He's already there. I'm not going. I've been looking at a little kitten online. I'm gonna drive 45 minutes to go get my kitten. I've always wanted a kitten, and he never allowed me to have one. I'm gonna bring some happiness into my home for me and my babies. And I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna need help. I blame myself. I made this my fault.
How?
I found every way to make this my fault. How stupid could I be? They got so close. I'm so tired. They did this to me, I don't know. I don't know who to be mad at more, her or him. I shared everything with her, and she wants to share my husband or have him. him, I don't know. She was envious of me. She wants to be me. She always wanted to be me since we were kids, and I didn't know that she still felt that way. I always felt like she had more than me, you know? Like, if we were gonna put, like, a value on it. She wanted a family, she wanted kids, she wanted what I have, she wanted my husband. With everything she already has. She's pregnant with her own baby. But it's by a married man who's also in the military where she is. And his wife doesn't even know. And still, I would never do this to her. He's my best friend. But he doesn't love me like I thought he did. He doesn't love me like I love him. And I can't continue this. I filed for divorce because I have to put me first. I have to be good. I have to be great. God needs me to be good and to be great. He wants me to share, and I'm sharing. Take it easy on me. I pray that I can help someone through me sharing and healing. That's all I can say right now. That's all I got. Let me take a drink of my Celsius real quick because cheers. Okay, so thanks. I don't know where to start. I'm just going to start. I mostly want to share because it's not my secret to keep, and I just want to set myself free from all of this. It's been a lot, but it's my real life, and I've started my platform with sharing my life from starting my small business and quitting my corporate job. I share a day in my life every single day, and I've been unable to share because of what I've been going through. I want to say I have my girlfriend on the phone and she doesn't know this story at all. Like, we just, lost contact, for no reason at all. It's just, space, life. I'll allow her to ask whatever question she has to ask because I feel like whatever question she has, everybody has, right? So just to help me out, because I tried to record this video on my own and I just keep getting sidetracked. I get emotional and all of that. So I just want to make it, as down to earth and as calm and as cool as possible, but still share my story.
How am I have to be around you because I've known y'all for, I've known y'all for a long time.
Okay, when did you move from Texas? That makes sense. So in 2019, 2020, around COVID, that's when we started talking again. My grandma got in a car accident. She lived in Augusta. My cousin lived in Idaho at this point. I lived here in Texas. I was here. She called and said, hey, grandma got in a car accident. This is going on. It was a real bad car accident. My grandma, the car flipped over. And she was in Augusta all by herself. So we started talking around that. We lost contact. She went to the military. She got married. Everybody's lives were different. But when my grandma got in a car accident, it got us closer together. She was venting like how nobody cares and she has to stand up and take care of, grandma. But I'm like, at the same time, she raised you. She reached out and we started a group chat from there. My sister Dom, myself, her, cousin Faith, and another cousin that grew up, that lived in the same house with cousin Faith. Let's call her Fiona for short, okay? 4 people in this group chat. It's called Grandma's Girls. That's the name of our group chat. Myself, my sister Dom, Faith, and Fiona. We just got closer talking about grandma, like what's going on, her health and all of that. My grandma ended up having to get her leg removed because she has diabetes and they wasn't taking care of her in the hospital in Augusta. And my cousin Faith was traveling back and forth, stressed out, but taking care of her and keeping us in contact on what's going on. In 2020, a little bit later on, after, my grandma moved in with Faith in Idaho, my uncle, he passed away. He had a weight loss surgery and he died. My grandma's only son. And that is my cousin Fiona. That's her dad. So she's in a group chat. We just all been consoling her. We just got super duper close. Around that time, I found out I was pregnant with my last baby. I didn't have a baby shower. It was during COVID. Faith would send me stuff for my pregnancy, if I was ever sick, when I got COVID, you know, like just taking care of each other. We did that kind of stuff as a foursome, just getting closer and talking about memories, talking about things that happened with us in the time that we broke up, getting to know each other all over again. Of course, we started having our little separate conversations, our separate chats. Me and Faith were so close, so she was just so happy to have me back, just as I was so happy to have her back. Next thing you know, we was planning a trip to go to Vegas. We couldn't go to Vegas because COVID happened, right? 2020. Now it's mid-October 2020. Faith is stationed in Idaho. Fiona is going to visit her because Faith is getting ready to be stationed somewhere else, right? Her duty station is changing. Yeah, she's military, active duty. Fiona is like, hey, Precious, you should fly in and surprise Faith. I think it'll be a good surprise for both of you. Her husband is overseas. I think it'll be good for you guys to see each other. You'll see Grandma, all of that. So, because by this time, Grandma is living with Faith in Idaho. I fly in with my 1-year-old toddler. I'm pregnant with my last baby. Faith got out of the car, super happy, surprised. We just hugged each other, cried, all of that good stuff. We were happy to see each other after so many years. We cooked together. I was able to hang out with my grandma. We went to a pumpkin patch. We wore matching pajamas. They got to meet my baby. Faith would come and bring me coffee every morning in bed. She laid up, she rubbed my belly. We just had conversation after conversation. We enjoyed each other's company and we just lived in the moment. My birthday is October 17th, hers the 18th. We've been sharing birthdays since we were kids. So from there we planned on our husbands meeting and spending each birthday after that together, and of course after I had the baby. And from that trip we were already planning our October 2021 birthday trip together. April 2021, we decided to take a random trip to Vegas. Faith's husband at the time was back from overseas, so we decided just to go ahead and take a trip. We wanted to make sure that our husbands were gonna vibe, and it was also Faith's husband's birthday. So it was me, my husband, Faith, her husband, and my cousin from Augusta. She came and her boyfriend, and we just had a great time. Our husbands vibed so well. Faith and I got even closer during that trip. And then the next trip was our birthdays. Myself, my husband, Faith, and her husband, we flew across the country to Puerto Rico. We bonded so well, and our husbands were just like, kind of like allowing us to just be. We sat by the beach. It was like we were kids again, but we were adults. Like there was some moments of silence where we just was just there in the moment. May of 2022, my cousin Fiona, she was stationed or like in training because she was military as well. She was stationed in Oklahoma, and you know that's super close to Texas. Like so on the weekends, because she was just there all by herself, staying like with a roommate, she would come visit me. You know, she came first time it was Thanksgiving. She came Thanksgiving of 2021. And we just like cooked out, we made food together. She met my husband and all of that stuff. May 26th of 2022, I was in the shower one day and my cousin Faith popped up in the front of my shower door. And I was like, and my husband was like, somebody from work was coming, and it was her. And I was just like, oh my God, you know, you came to visit me. She was like, yeah. Cause I'm looking at pictures of her holding the baby and all of that stuff. And then they made reservations for us to go out to dinner. This is us in matching pajamas that night. There's a little 3-piece of us in matching pajamas, a little Hawaiian matching pajamas. She came and stayed for 2 days with her and my cousin. We're both there. We even went upstairs like in the man cave and we drank champagne all night, you know, just us. Like, and he kept the kids and we just had like so much fun, like girl talk. We even played like a card game, one of them card games to get to know each other again, you know, like the conversation type cards. We did that upstairs, drinking champagne over and over and over all night long. She made like a charcuterie board. So I remember that, and she was like, oh, and he was acting all shy because my husband is like kind of shy. She was like, here, eat this. Like she trying to feed it. Oh, you want to eat it? I was like, girl, you know, that back then, like, cause I'm looking at this picture of her trying to feed him a cracker and he like got his hand up, like, get away. All right. And then his birthday came in July of 2022. He wanted to do like a club scene. We got a table and we at a fancy club in Dallas, and my cousin came from Augusta. His friends here came, and she came, her and her husband, because she was married at the time, and we was all having fun. And that's when they got closer. Like she was like, he's so cool. I got a picture of them two together, you know, and he like behind her, like, you know, oh, let's take a little couples picture, kind of like that. Her husband in the background of the picture too. I'm looking at it right now, but I didn't think she liked him. She was still married. Her husband was there too, you know what I mean? But it wasn't weird or nothing like that. We even have another video. We did breakfast. We invited so many people over. It was like 5 couples was there. Okay. I just seen that video. The next time we saw each other was September 2nd, 2022. It was like I stayed for maybe like 4 days. She just got promoted, I want to say, to Master Sergeant. She had a +1 and she invited me and didn't even invite her husband, which was so weird and so crazy. But what was super weird about that trip, I invited my sister maybe, you know, towards the end of the trip. And I felt that my cousin Faith was kind of like turned off that I invited her. Like she wanted it just to be about me and her and them. But either way, it ended up being a good trip. We stayed up all night. We played that same card game with the 4 of us now, me, Dom, Faith, and Fiona. It was time for Fiona's birthday. So we planned a trip to go on a cruise. All 4 of us supposed to go, but my sister, how she is, like, if she don't feel like going, she ain't going, okay? She wasn't going. She was happy that I was, because we're closer in age, me, Faith, and Fiona. My cousin, Fiona, she wanted to have a baby so bad, and she thought she was pregnant on that cruise, right? And she was just like so sad when her period came on. And I kind of like spoke life into her that day, and I remember these words, and she reminded me that I told her this. I was like, when you happy for like one of her friends, they both thought they were pregnant, her friend actually was pregnant, she wasn't. I was like, you have to genuinely congratulate people and not be remorseful and stuff like that, because God knows a wicked heart. And you have to truly be celebrating her and not be jealous, you know? And she said she took that to heart. After we left, she ended up getting pregnant. We had so much fun. We spent so much time together. We sang a song together. And what's so crazy is that song played when I left my therapist's office today that we sang together. As soon as I left my therapist's office today. So crazy. And it's like, I can't even, I hear the words to this song, and it's Truth Is by Fantasia. You remember when I went on that cruise? When I wore the green? Yep, March 27, 2023. Yep. 27, 2023. Yep. We did matching pajamas, leopard ones. I brought the pajamas that time, and we just had a blast. We still kept contact. We in a group chat. I was the mommy of the group chat. I would talk about pregnancy. I would talk about, and I'm saying this for a reason. I would just encourage her, like when she wasn't feeling good. Anytime she had questions, I would answer it. Like I was very hands-on with my cousin because I know how excited she was to be having a baby, right? And my cousin Faith saw all of this. My cousin Faith, she threw her baby shower. We went to Colorado.
After y'all done built all this stuff back up, y'all done been talking for a couple years. She needs, like, at one point, they
would text each other like, oh, how you doing? Her favorite song was Good Morning, Gorgeous. She would send it to me. She would send it to him. You know, just like random stuff. What up, P? Wait. She used to, like, because she's military. So anytime she had like a delay in a flight, she would come. Like one time I met her at the airport and we went to Papa Do's, just her and I, and we ate lunch. So she would come visit me like that.
So, can I ask you questions?
Yes.
Do you think that met up on their own without you knowing?
Okay, we're gonna get there, baby girl. July 2nd, 2024. And it was like 7:38 in the morning. It was like that kind of hours. Like, and I took videos and she wanted to do some orders. She uses my heat press and everything. 6 o'clock in the morning. It was like before the kids woke up. Yes, we got pictures together. I'm kissing her on her cheek. All of that, right? And he drove her back and they took a picture together that day because that's the same picture that's on his photo when she calls. And I was like, this is weird. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, oh, that's just, you know, sister. July, the first, okay, remind you, that's the last time they saw each other, okay? July 2nd, 2024. That was the last time, and he drove her home to the airport, okay? So that's just some background. That's us. That's how it always been. That was our dynamic and all of that. We just got super close. She came to visit plenty of times. She ain't got no kids, so it was easy for her to come visit, all of that.
What would you have?
Real bad.
But don't even realize, they never come get what you have.
She ended up getting pregnant. Well, she was still pregnant when she got a divorce. She was pregnant and then she got a divorce. She was pregnant by a married man. No, she divorced him. I'm not going to put him because I love him to death. But the main one was because he couldn't give her kids and she wanted kids so bad. So she got pregnant. And it's so crazy. I want to just type in a word and it's going to come up. Yep. She got pregnant and she was so happy and so excited about it. She's even sent us like onesies in the mail. She wanted to record my reaction, okay? She wanted to record my reaction, but she put auntie and uncle. She was 2 onesies, one for him and one for me. So I was just like, okay, you know, that's fine. She just extra. She was like, oh, did you show him or whatever? And I'm like, oh yeah, look what she sent you, blah, 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 you know? you're going to be an uncle. And it was just like, you know, like, oh, that's sweet, whatever. And I was like, girl, he don't care. Kind of, you know, just being like that, he don't care. But at some point during her pregnancy, she told me, like, I feel like you was there more for Fiona than for me. Like, you were more excited for her pregnancy and me. And I was just like, no, I was just going through stuff like with my business. You know, this life is happening. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to be better. So I started like texting her privately and checking on her and stuff like that. But it probably stopped again. You know, just life start happening. It's like in a group chat, you was always checking on Fiona, how she doing, what's going on with her, and you wasn't doing it to me. So now I'm just like, you know, now thinking about it, like, damn, maybe she was really butthurt about it. You know what I mean? That she started messaging my man.
Yeah.
You know? So I was just like, you know, I wasn't there for her like that, but I was going through my own things at that time, right? Whatever it was. And yep, that's where it was. I want to see the dates on this because I'm just curious now. November 9th, 2024. She sent the hi auntie, hi uncle. So wow, November 9th. Then she sent us like roses before, right? She was like, I feel like, you know, you having a bad day or something like that, because I wasn't talking one day like in the chat or something like that. But she sent 2 dozens. She said one for me and one for my husband. I was like, oh, that's weird, but that's sweet or whatever. She said, yo, you know, he my boy, da 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 da, like that. And I was like, okay, but I put them both inside the same vase, whatever. He was like, oh, okay, laughed it off. Even when he seen the onesies, he was just like, oh, that's cool, blah 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 blah. 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm sleeping upstairs with the babies. I came downstairs to my bedroom to go to bed, and my husband, as always, his phone is playing ESPN, and it's crazy because I normally just lock it and just call it a night. But this night, something told me to look at his phone.
So, like, were you, like, feeling weird? Or, like, what made you kind of let this go?
So, okay, so it's weird because I've been feeling, like, off with him lately. I sometimes, you know how you have intuition, right? And it's just like something is off, something is strange about your partner. It's your spouse, you know, things that he was doing, like watching, being extra sexual, or leaving the house a lot, you know? So those kind of things. It just made me want to look at it. Like, you want to go play dominoes a lot. Like, you want to go play dominoes again, you just went yesterday, or you went 3 days ago, and that's fine. Go have fun and play, but it was just becoming a lot. I could tell he's moving a little different. Okay, he's my husband. We've been together for 12 years. So I picked up his phone and I just went into the living room, and I sat right there on the living room floor and I started scrolling. The first thing I went through was Facebook, and of course I saw like stupid messages to girls that from like high school, where he's from, random stuff, you know, inappropriate for sure, you know, talking about how I don't appreciate him. And the girl even saying like, aren't you married? And he's like, so what does that matter? What does that have to do with anything? Just disrespectful stuff. So I went through his text messages. When I saw my cousin, it was her baby shower. I flew to Arizona where she lives, and it was April 19th was her shower. I looked through the messages, but I saw like her maternity pictures, and a lot of her maternity pictures was like braless and, you know, see-through dress. She's extra. She even sent these same pictures to my father, you know, like she does that. So she sent us all those pictures. We always, you know, in our group chat, we talk about family and stuff all the time. That's fine. We talk about our daily lives, whatever we're doing, we share like as sisters, you know, cousins, first cousins. So I went through, I saw the pictures, the maternity pictures. I was like, okay, why is she sending these to him? That's weird. That's fine, but she's extra. That's okay. But I saw like messages. They were like choppy, like big group messages. How you doing today? Stuff like that. But I'm like, okay, they check on each other periodically. I just left that alone, right? So I went over to his photos, and just looking at photos, just scrolling through. As I'm scrolling through, I see a naked photo, her boobs, her breast, her belly, her pregnant belly, but it was a smaller pregnant belly, so it was the beginning of her pregnancy in her vagina, like full frontal picture. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, kind of look moist, like her body looks wet, like she just got out of the shower. So I'm like, okay. The next following picture, it was 1 minute, maybe 1 minute, 3 seconds. One was 1 minute, and they were all like between 1 minute and 3 seconds, 1 minute and 5 seconds. Frontal, first, you know, front. I could see her hand. I can see she's clearly performing. So when I say performing, that's what I mean. Should I use another word for that? I don't know. You know, a safe word.
No, you can perform for him or whatever.
Okay, performing. That's because performing, I don't know if somebody thinking that she's dancing or something. I clicked on a video from the square, okay? I already knew who it was. I can tell by her hands. I can tell by her almond-shaped fingernail bands. She didn't have fake nails on or nothing. Her nails, I know her hands, I know her nails like they're mine. She's my first cousin. We grew up together, okay? Like wrinkly, like I know, like all of our hands are a little like wrinkly, like they look older than they are. My hands look like they veiny, you know? I know her hands, I know her skin tone, all of that. I clicked on the video, full on action video, like, and it was 3 of them. Back to back, like I couldn't even watch the videos all the way through because it was 3 minutes. I'm sure I stopped myself. The biggest tool that you ever want to see, it looked like it was a massage gun, okay? And I'm even say that because later on I brought that up to him and he's like, I had to laugh at it a little bit, which is sad, right? Like it looked damaging, you know, and I'm not trying to be funny. But I'm like, I know this ain't so. Like my heart just probably stopped beating at that moment, but it was just like numb, but I just couldn't stop scrolling, okay? So in addition to looking at the video, on her hand, I also saw her left ring finger, and she has a tattoo across her finger. So I just left the baby shower. I put his phone down. Well, first I just started taking pictures with my phone of his phone, like taking pictures. Like I didn't even click on the video to like play it, to like send it to myself or nothing. I was just taking pictures, like just pictures, taking pictures of the screenshot, taking pictures. Like I just had all of these pictures. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. So, I went to my phone. I sat his phone down, and then I went to my phone, and I'm just like, oh my God, I need to zoom in on pictures from the baby shower. I'm like zooming in, and she has this tattoo on her finger. I could see myself. I could see my hands wrapped around her silly photos with her butt in front of me, and I'm behind her, like, you know, like you just do family pictures, just in front of her display, and I zoom in, and I see her tattoo on her finger. I saw the tattoo in my head of her sitting on the couch with me while we was at the Airbnb in Arizona. Like, I'm like, I knew she had a tattoo, but like, I'm just trying to make myself like believe that what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Just like, what?
You gotta know like 100%. No.
Yeah, you know, like 100%. And I'm like, even some of like the maternity pictures, like of her like daily updates that she sent us in our group chat, he had in his phone.
Wow. That's crazy. That's going to be part 2. This video is already long. I really don't have much to say, but I'm just going to jump right into part 2 straight up. But you guys go ahead down in the comment section and share your thought about this. I'm going to leave my thought towards maybe part 2 and share my thought there. But yeah, you guys let me know down what you think about it. But please, as always, be respectful. You're on this channel. We're allowed to disagree, but do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thought, okay? Don't forget to share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting this channel and this girl. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.